how's it going, everybody? Welcome back to the channel and welcome back to Ultimate General American Revolution. Today we're going to be taking a look at the brand new, custom battle system that they've implemented in the most recent update. And this update allows you to basically play out any battle you want with all the units currently in the game as either Britain or the United States. And that's pretty cool because I'm going to tell you that I'm pretty sick and tired of playing as the United States and getting absolutely massacred by the elite, well-trained red coats of the British Empire. So today, I'm going to be inflicting some pain of my own on you goddamn traitors. So with the custom battle system, you can basically pick the type of terrain you want to play on. And there's a bunch of terrain we actually have not seen yet, I guess because, again, something like Swampy is going to be more down in the south, in like Louisiana and Florida, etc., whereas we're much more up into the north of the campaign map with what's currently playable. So, you know, the terrain of like New York and Canada and the other lands like New Hampshire, which of course is much more like mountainous and more open land, and of course very hilly. So let's first off by let's play on the coastline. I don't know what coastline is going to be like. Are we going to have like half the map being at sea? I don't know, we'll see. We can also go ahead and pick a general. There are 4 to pick from. What would be really cool as well if you could actually like make a custom character, that would be pretty cool. But let's bring Henry Clinton. You know, it sounds like a perfect name. You can also bring multiple if you want to as well, and then you get to choose on the type of unit. So for example, I can take an infantry regiment and then we can start filling this out. We can also go ahead and pick the guns that we have access to, and you do get access to every single gun in the game. So the US made rifles with the Ferguson and the Pennsylvania rifle, and then up here in the north you obviously have the Brown Besses and even the infantry carbine as well. So some more of the more advanced muskets, but we'll leave that for now. Just give them the Brown Besses, kind of keep it nice and simple. You also do have a set amount of points that you're working towards. So right now I've got it set to 125,000, and obviously every time you recruit a general you do pick from that. You also, as you fill out a infantry regiment, get to pick the kind of support stuff as well. Right here, for example, we could take some skirmishers and then we'll give them I don't know, some Pennsylvania rifles. Is this also a rifle? No, we'll give them some Ferguson rifles, which are like really broken. And then we'll assign a mortar squad, and then we can even pick a grenadier squad as well. So let's pick some exciting units. So yeah, let's grab up maybe the Brown Besses from 78 on these guys, on the Grenadiers. We'll give some Highlanders. Yeah, let's take the Highlanders. Why not? Yeah, I think this is a pretty good British army we've got access to. So we've got a small group of militia units, 140 in these, and then we also have 150 in the free enslaved soldiers that obviously in the campaign kind of come over to the British side. We also then have 2 British full infantry regiments, both with Grenadiers, one with Royal Guards, and then the other with Highlanders. We also have a double battery of cannons here. What cannons actually did I give them? I gave them 6-pounders. Should we up them? I want to see what 12-pounders are capable of. So let's just do double 12-pounders there. Oh, that's going to be juicy. And then finally, we also have a cavalry regiment on top of that. We do also have a little bit more room if we wanted to expand battle size / the actual kind of army points as well. But that's fine. I'll go ahead and build up the American force and we'll dive into this battle. It's also quite cool as well seeing some of the units that you just don't get access to in the campaign, like you just don't unlock them. So seeing some of the guards and also the grenadiers for the Americans, and even just their kind of fusilier skirmishers is also pretty cool. But now though, we will just go ahead and equip them with this, and then of course equip these. I'll probably go back and change some of their muskets as well. Okay, so I think we've got this set up now. So I've basically given them 5 regiments of militia, all with civilian muskets, 2 proper infantry regiments, all with United States muskets, and then I also gave them 4-pounders as well. So we're going to be severely outnumbered in this battle. We'll have to see if that is going to be enough, and let's just dive in and see what these custom battles are like. Okay, so here is the battlefield. It is a coastline battle, but there is no body of water. I was wondering if we'd have like cliffs or sea to our right, but it doesn't seem like that is the case, which is fine. So let's dive in, and here we go. It feels so weird seeing the British units lined up like this. We have a battle right here for the farmyard. The Americans are going to be spawning in here, so we're going to have to push forward, and I love all the different types of units. It's a bit of a shame that we don't get like the officer names up here. Hopefully that's something they can add, and something I think they need to like implement a bit more of is like moving in a regiment is like more advantageous. Keeping units together maybe gives them a buff or something would be really cool, because yeah, it gets a bit weird kind of moving all these soldiers around not in a regiment. So we're going to want to push forward, obviously try and take the farmyard. Balance of power is severely out of my my favor. So it's basically push forward 1 regiment to the left hand side, 1 regiment to the right. We have our other guns right here. So we are 12 pounders. Getting these guys up is going to be really important, like early on. So let's throw them up right away. We also have some cavalry, so we can send the cavalry forward to go and scout. Our dragoons are going to be great at basically just seeing what the enemy have, dismounting, hitting their cannon. And we also have a reserve line of our militia, which can basically just act as a center and reinforce. And then we obviously have Hillary Clinton as well that we can push up to go and support that. So nice. Let's go ahead and start getting these units up. We can also get some nice zoom ins as well of the special units. So we obviously have our green coats, which we've seen. The Brenton Scouts right here as well. Again, looking pretty dope. We have some of the awesome Grenadiers right there. Yeah, these are the Royal Guard here. I imagine their melee stats are just going to be wild. And yeah, some really, really good stats right there. And we also have some Highlanders all the way over here in our center. And again, the Highlanders look great. I mean, it feels, as an Englishman, it feels great being able to go ahead and play as my mother nation. And here come the Americans. We can see some Grenadiers over on this right-hand side. Hopefully, in the future as well, they also go and change up some of the Grenadier outfits. I think that's going to be a big addition to the game. So let's start getting some cavalry maybe around the flanks. We want to delay them, basically, because we're obviously quite late to this party. Yeah, we're going to have to set up here. Can we get into the forest? Okay, so these guys are actually pretty good as well. And yeah, we want to obviously stop them from being able to get to this forest. Oh my god, there are so many American forces right now. Okay, cavalry just fall back. The skirmishers are currently fighting again against some really good units. But oh my god, so these are the ones I gave the Ferguson muskets to. And they are just insane. Because these are pretty much the first breech-loaded rifles that kind of entered, I think, the end of the war. And just look at them go. We've got a normal speed. And the damage that they're outputting is just crazy. That really is. Seems like we have been able to be held in place here, which is fine. Ideally, you want to get the cannon set up like here, but we'll just get it set up right now and start shooting in. We need this reinforcements to get over there. We have another cannon, which can go there. Luckily, though, it does seem like the infantry is going to be able to get into this forest line, which is perfect, and we'll bring this unit around to reinforce. That seems good. And we also have our mortars here as well, so the mortars can just start loading in shots here, and the cavalry, again, just start wrapping around, kind of keep the AI busy on what it's doing. You guys also get in a hold position. That balance of power does not look good. We're going to need to go and protect this flank with our reserve militia, so let's start doing that. Cannon boat should be able to open up. These are 12 pounders, remember, as well. So I want to see what a volley does for them. And yeah, hopefully it's going to be a lot. Our cavalry can do here as well. Frontally charging against a volley. I'm interested. Oh, that was a pretty gnarly charge. I imagine they lose as the battle does continue on, but we'll see. We do have some of our guards here getting hammered, so let's actually pull them back. The rest of the line has now fully formed up. The mortars are doing a good job. And yeah, ideally, we want to be using our cavalry, basically just to charge in on where artillery is going to be a great little charge. Yeah, nice. That cavalry managed to kill the entire unit. Yeah, cavalry is super strong. I don't think they've really been tested too much, which is always pretty interesting. So we brought back these grenadiers. Let's wrap them around and see if we can help out here. Our front lines are going to be a little bit scary, but I've set up my 12 pounders basically in this killing zone right here. So wherever they get charged, if they get charged from here, then both these cannons can help out and really hit. So far, though, we're doing an okay job, I would say. How did the skirmishers fall back? Yeah, how many kills are they on? They're on 14 kills. Yeah, the cavalry here. So again, this would be a really good test for the cavalry. Can the cavalry beat back their units? I mean, the AI is shooting into their friendly units. They are just fighting militia. I think the best way to deal with cavalry is to bog them down with more soldiers. Let's charge here as well. We have both of our militia units focusing on here. I want to see the grenadiers and the cavalry smashing at once. Oh, that is going to be brutal. Yeah, the grenadiers are going to rip them apart. And we have our other units over here as well. This is another unit of... Oh, yeah, sorry. These are our freed slaves. Perfect. Yeah, and the grenadiers plus the other soldiers just doing so much work. The 12 pounders decimating this. How are the mortars doing as well? We can zoom in on them. Yeah, mortars doing pretty good as well. Again, obviously I think the mortars have explosive rounds. Yeah, look at that efficiency as well at distance. Is there a way to like find out distance, I wonder? There isn't really, right? Is there? No. I don't think there is. Which is a shame, because it'd be cool to kind of see that. I guess you kind of have just to eyeball it. Like, with the brown besses, you can kind of see it falls off. So I imagine, like, this is probably optimal range. And then, obviously, as you go further and further out, it does fall off a bit. So after that victory, I'm interested to see as well. We're getting charged here as well. Let's throw the grenadiers in. Does seem like my militia is being broken back by some of their better soldiers. But then again, over here as well, we're doing pretty good. The cavalry is also being harassed. Let's bring these guys up. Let them firing. What does a volley do against a militia? Oh, that first volley doing so much damage. And the thing is as well that their reload is just going to be brutal. And they're obviously harder to hit as well because of the type of unit that they actually are. Yeah, look at that. They are massacring them. That is really brutal. Our soldiers are definitely struggling under the sheer amount of fire in the center, but the sheer quality that we're bringing is, of course, going to be doing the damage. So I brought up these cannons as well. Again, I want to see what the 12-pounders can really do. And the grenadier is able to scare off the enemy as well. Yeah, let's see what these 12-pounders can do. So let's go back to them, wait for them to reload, and then fire in here as well will be perfect. Over here as well, we are currently reloading. Something to definitely note, though, on the 12-pounders is they take a long time to reload. Yeah, their reload speed is super slow, obviously, the bigger the armament. But hopefully that means that there's a bigger payoff right there. So they're about to fire. You can see this white bar going up. And then they got 118 men in. Let's give them a shot. I think that's going to be shrapnel range as well. Yeah, that was one cannon, I think, that just shot there. Yeah, that was literally one cannon that shot and basically routed them. That's brutal over here as well. 8 casualties. Yeah, these cannons are insane. They really, really are. Our left flank has actually been overrun by the sheer amount of numbers. Let's commit the rest of our militia over there. Mate, well, they're actually charging me here as well. Okay, we'll take that. We'll countercharge, of course. What are we fighting? I assume we're fighting Fusiliers. Yeah, we are fighting Fusiliers there. You guys give them a volley? Yes, perfect volley. At that range as well, you would have assumed you would have won that. But I guess not. And again, they've really changed the way that combat works in the game now. Like, oh, they charged me here as well. Brutal. You guys sit up there. We'll get the cannons over here as well. And we'll basically reform that flank. Cavalry is, yeah, not charging the enemy down. It'd be cool if they kind of pursued the enemy, I think, once they beat them. That's fine. I mean, yeah, we completely broke this right flank, which is nice. And look at that. This is my guard? No, these are just normal infantry. Yeah, these are just normal Fusiliers holding their own, being shot in the back by friendly units. But still doing their own. Yeah, again, the British melee is going to be really good with the Brown Besses. I am actually not sure how good, I don't know if I can see either, the US muskets actually are in melee. I think they're definitely better, especially than the civilian muskets, but still not like up to scratch as that cavalry continues just to charge and fight. We can really push the aggression on this flank. Yeah, these guys as well, up to 136 kills. I imagine if you get like an event that gives you any of them rifles, yeah, it's just game over for the Americans, as much as it already is. Quite honestly, this is how I imagine the majority of the campaign going for the British. Like, you're going to basically not have enough men to cover every single position, and that's going to be like your main focus in the campaign is where do you deploy your resources? Where do you try and stem the bleeding? You're going to be able to reinforce. So that's going to be another good thing about the British campaign as well, is you are going to be able to like choose where you reinforce because you have naval dominance. You can basically kind of be like, okay, I want to definitely implement my forces in this area and focus it, and then move your soldiers quite quickly to that area to have it supported, which is of course going to be really, really nice in that regard. But yeah, you're definitely going to be like kind of having to put fires out in every single position, trying to basically just delay the enemy and their forces. Also, you're going to have the money, you're going to have the navy, and you're also going to be having the better quality soldiers to give you that ability to actually achieve something like that. And I think also like fighting more defensive battles is always going to be easier than say fighting the more offensive battles where you actually do have to pay, you know, you kind of have to be aggressive, fight the enemy. And it's also going to be kind of cool as well, like to see how the AI actually changes. Because I imagine right now there's not really any difference in the way the two sides fight because there is only one campaign, so you don't really need like multiple AI. But going forward, you're going to probably have to develop a US AI, which is going to play very different to how the British fought, you know, utilizing their numbers to their advantages, lots of outflanking and other situations. I think is going to be super important. We've got some more grenadiers here. I was about just to literally charge, but it seems like the enemy are basically breaking at this point. Yeah, I wanted to get them stuck in. The militia also seem pretty decent for the British. I'm impressed with how well they've performed, considering we're used to doing it. But I guess for the most part, the main problem with militia is just the type of weaponry they're using. the less like guns they actually get access to. Like as soon as you can get decent guns into the militia, that's when they become a problem. That's why I think as well, rushing the US made muskets, which you can get in about 150 days, which is about a quarter of the campaign currently available, you actually can kind of start outfitting your soldiers, and you don't have to worry about all the Fusilier units, which aren't dramatically better, and they do cost a lot more. You just don't have the resources to deal with them. So I think just getting, we're gonna have to charge there as well. I think just getting the soldiers in with okay guns just dramatically improves their quality for sure. I basically have like no ammunition now left on my soldiers. I guess fighting a big battle with no ammo is never a solid plan of action. We are bringing our soldiers forward though here, just so they're a bit more effective with their shooting. You guys are holding that left flank. The 8-pounders, sorry, the 12-pounders are interesting. I don't know how much I like them. They do hit really hard, but they take so long to reload. And if you get a couple shots that necessarily aren't direct or are missing a bit, yeah, I don't know how much I really rate them. I think getting just the basic 6-pounders, they do enough damage to like break the Americans. We just have this one unit of skirmishers holding down this right flank, but it just doesn't matter. Look at that reload time going up. They fire and then they just basically immediately reload. That is crazy. It's like bringing an MG42 back to Roman times, you know, just absolutely demolishing anything in their path. Up to 300 kills now. How much of a 12-pounders? 12-pounders... yeah, I've got similar amounts as well. Just secure the farm as well away from the Americans. We'll be having this one, that's for sure. Right here, we do have some grenadiers left or some guard infantry. So, yeah, give it a go, boys. Get stuck in. Let's see what you're made of. Let's just do a mass charge. I guess we'll get Hillary Clinton over here as well. She can help support the boys. We're basically already breaking the British, like, immediately right there. And we also have our cannons set up on this right flank. No ammo left on our boys whatsoever. The skirmishers can come around now as well and help out. We did lose this left flank, but then we immediately fired a volley right there, and that must have seen them gone. We are, again, some units are coming back. I feel like they've made it so that units do dramatically come back a lot more now. But it's annoying the way they route. Like they were able to route behind me. I always find that a little bit annoying, especially in like games like Total War where they do that. Again, there's still plenty of like fine-tuning with the AI. And they're doing great jobs as well. Like, I've got to say, I'm really impressed with the speed at which they're updating not only the campaign map, but also the battle AI as well. Like, they've already done mass improvements to the siege AI. They've massively improved the quality of the campaign AI. The AI is now way more aggressive. Like, it's not even funny how much more aggressive the AI actually is. They do, like, yeah, insane pushes now. They find out where you're weak, and you really have to take them a bit more seriously. They've also, like, changed how melee works in the game. Oh my god, them 12-pounders, wow. And that's obviously severely changed how you would used to play the older factions, especially, say, the Americans, because now you just can't mass charge, or you can, but you have to just be smart about it. You have to kind of hit them from the flank and the back as well, and that information I think just needs to be kind of shown to the player a little bit more than it currently is. Now, the true question is, can these 72 skirmishers win the war? They still have plenty of ammunition left, but they're basically all I've got left, which actually have bullets and ammunition. The cannons are also actually chilling with a little bit more ammunition, but yeah, basically non-existent. I didn't micro my cavalry very well, and the Americans are pushing behind me, but I believe in these Ferguson rifles to win the day. I wonder as well, can we actually like snipe Washington? Is that something we can do? Yeah, I mean, as soon as we get up there, Washington does pull back, but can we get like any shots off on him? No, I don't think we can. Like, he's going to constantly put out of our range, which is obviously smart by him. But yeah, I think we've got this one in the bag now, even though we are running low on ammo, but the mortars are still just hammering away, doing some really good damage, and these cannons are in a pretty decent spot to hold the line. And this is honestly how I think you should be using skirmishers in the current state of the game, is basically throwing them and hitting the routing enemy units and preventing them from reinforcing any areas with them, because the skirmishers are faster than line infantry, they have better range, and they're very hard at getting hit by enemy musket fire, so that basically means that they're perfect for picking off these smaller units and just forcing them off the field, forcing them to constantly retreat back whilst the rest of your line does push up. And I think going forward in my campaigns, I'm going to be using skirmishers, even as the Americans way more with their worser rifles. They can basically hold down like an entire British infantry company and do pretty decent because they're harder to hit because they're spread out and they have different formations. So I like that quite a lot. Let's charge in here now as well. I want to charge in this unit though, please. The cannons are still doing their work. And that's basically it, I think, now for the American forces. And there we have it. Victory is ours. We've finished up the British line perfectly. I'm very interested to see who got the most efficient kills. Yeah, it's going to be the skirmishers with 419 kills of them. Amazing guns. Yeah, absolutely insane. So yeah, that was the new custom battle feature. As I said, you can play as multiple maps. You can play on multiple different factions and also play as the different forts as well. The stockades, the fort, and also the finally tier 3 fortress. So really going to be fun to mess around with and like see if you can hold back hordes of Americans or hordes of British soldiers and just basically hold the line as best as possible. If you want to see me take on maybe more challenges, maybe I can try and defend a tier 3 fort against the large amounts of enemy forces, then that could be a really fun kind of challenge and see if we can beat them back. But let me know down below in the comments and I'll see you guys in the next one.